Hola, hola, ¿qué tal, chicos? Y bienvenidos a la parte 10 de Call of Cthulhu. Vale, vamos a seguir desde donde lo dejamos. Escapamos del Instituto Riverside y estamos en la mansión con la doctora que dijo que nos esperaría en la parte superior de la loquería. Y bueno, vamos a ver si podemos hacer algo antes de hablar.
I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Vale. Tenemos puntos. ¿Cuántos? 5. Vale, vamos a ver. Este lo tenemos al 3, 3, 3. Me voy a en psicología 1. Vale, 2. Percepción 1. Elocuencia. Así. Perfecto. Estamos a 1 de subir. No, ¿cuál era? Este a 4. Vale, perfecto, chicos. Vamos a ver qué nos cuentan la doctora y Bradley, que estaba muerto, no sé por qué, sigue vivo.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Dijo yo.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
A ver. Doctora, Bradley, ¿qué hago? Hablo, me siento.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
Tell
us. What happened?
Sarah Hawkins era objetivo de una secta. No puedo. ¿Por qué? Puede que haya encontrado una pista.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course. He's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Lo llamó el vagabundo.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Yo creo que debe saber la
He's
verdad.
right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance.
Claro.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Eso es. Vale. Hablar con la viuda de Sanders. ¿Y ahora qué hago? Me piro.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
¿Por aquí? ¿Salgo? Sí. Vale, residencia en los Anders. Pierce, Holden y Bradley deciden unir sus fuerzas para resolver el caso Sarah Hawkins. Encuentran un rastro nuevo que seguir, el de Francis Sanders, un coleccionista de arte y amigo del artista que murió delante de Pierce. El detective va a su casa con la intención de hablar con la vida acerca del vagabundo que mencionó el hombre antes de morir. Vale. ¿Hay alguien?
What can I do for you, sir?
Aiden Sanders.
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well,
¿Cómo se llamaba esta?
look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
A ver, murió gritando delante de mí. Murió.
He started raving, screaming that a dimensional shambler had found him.
Oh, mercy, that story again. Why have him interned?
That was when he began to convulse and twist with pain. Or terror, it's hard to tell.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not really sure of what I saw, or what I didn't see. But it's best that you weren't there.
I should have been there. What you're telling me is outrageous. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mantener. El verdadero culpable es Fuller. Voy a probar elocuencia.
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Pues... Le habló de un vagabundo.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Vale. Pues vamos a mirar ese cuadro. Bueno, vamos a mirar todo. 2 puntos, bien.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Una fotografía de Sarah Hawkins junto al Sanders. Deben ser amigos. Vale. Reconstruir. Vale. Vamos a ver. Un piano aquí.
A house of artists.
Por aquí puedo ir. No. Tiene que estar todo aquí. Vale. Una taza. Psicología.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Vale.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Es feísima, tío. ¿Qué es? Psicología.
He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated.
Psicología.
She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why?
Vale. ¿Qué más? Esto es lo que hemos visto.
A house of artists.
Aquí nada. Me falta algo. Vale, el cuadro. Wow.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Vale, pues ya está. Vamos a ver el cuadro, pero antes... Breviario de Medicina tomo 2. El segundo volumen de esta serie cubre toda clase de temas, de la gangrena gaseosa a la nefritis de las trincheras, además de unos estudios tan precisos como detallados. Presenta algunas tesis realmente innovadoras debido a su extraordinaria complejidad. Es una obra reservada para lectores expertos. Muy bien. Seguimos mirando por aquí. A ver si hay algo. Otro libro que no puedo coger. Esto puedo abrir. No. Vale. Vaya cuadros, tío. Tampoco.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once
Cilindro
it's
de Francis
inserted in a
Sanders.
phonograph.
Una grabación dejada por Francis Sanders para su esposa Irene. O Irene. Vamos. Nada. Vale, ahí está Cat.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Un amuleto antiguo, posiblemente amerindio. Me pregunto para qué servirá.
I could use one of
No
those.
me vendría mal una de estas. Encontré estos somníferos en la casa de Sanders. ¿Los recetarían a Francis Sanders o a Irene? Yo creo que a Irene. Pero bueno.
Strange.
Querido
For
Francisco,
months,
suplico
Sarah Hawkins refused to
que
part
renuncie a
with
la
her
idea de
painting.
poseer este maldito
To
cuadro. Si
finally
en
give it
algo
away for nothing.
valora nuestra amistad, líbrame del peso de esta culpa. Me niego a ser responsable de tu caída, te lo suplico, mi querido viejo amigo. Mi querido amigo, olvídate del vagabundo, tu amiga Sarah Hawkins. Vale, aquí nada.
An old diary.
Un viejo diario. Parece este volumen dedica bastante atención a la comunidad del reverendo Wigwam. Su esposa expresa su preocupación sobre los extraños sucesos que aquejan a la congregación desde su llegada a la isla. Algunos de sus miembros, incluido su marido, empezaron a hablar de sus visiones como si las enviara el mismo Dios. Ella teme que pueda sufrir el mismo destino que la tribu perdida. Vale. Fuerza. Menos mal que tenemos fuerza. Llave. De la galería de Sanders. Perfecto. Algo por aquí. Vale. Disertación sobre cuestiones anatómicas. Esta es la obra de un estudiante en forma de libro, aunque las observaciones que contiene son relevantes. Evidencia de una falta de experiencia impropia de un profesional de la medicina. Sin embargo, su planteamiento nos permite concebir nuevas formas de explorar la anatomía humana. Tenemos la llave de esto, pero vamos a mirar este libro. Leer libro. Esto afectará tu destino. Una especie de enciclopedia de criaturas monstruosas y desconocidas. Empieza a pensar que existen. Muy bien.
That's
Habla.
twice you've stepped on my toes, detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Otra pintura
Another
de Sarah
painting by
Hawkins.
Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
¿Qué haces
And you?
tú aquí?
What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Vale. Antes de abrir esa puerta, quiero ver si me he dejado algo. ¿Esto qué es? Bueno, un tocadiscos o qué será esto.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me.
Ah, lo que
Nobody
encontramos.
should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids. Each time I shut my eyes.
Vale.
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
A ver, esto puedo abrir. No. Esta. Tampoco. No, esa llave es solo para la puerta, que es. Vamos a ver cuántos puntos tenemos. 2. Vale, pues vamos a subir investigación a la cuarta. Vale. Y 55, elocuencia a 45. Vale, perfecto. Lo que más tenemos es investigación. Bien. Me gusta. Vale, vamos a abrir esto. Vale. Vamos a ver todo lo que hay. Espadas ceremoniales. Eso no sé qué es. Aquí hay un cuadro. Vale. Todos tienen cara de pulpo, como de pulpo, sí.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Vale. Aquí hay... Bien, para rellenar, bien. ¿Este es el cuadro? Sí, así que no lo voy a mirar de momento. Vamos a seguir. Si podemos ver algo más, chicos. Vamos a entrar por ahí. Por aquí.
The public entrance to
Vale.
the gallery.
Entrada principal de la galería. Vale.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
¿Y esta tablilla?
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Vale. Parece que solo te deja mirar el cuadro, por lo que veo. Vale, vamos a mirarlo, que es una boca. ¿Parece una boca o es una boca? Bueno. Ya empezamos. Al lío. Ahora nos cogen del cuadro, seguro. Cuidado, cuidado. Brazo asqueroso. Los cuadros están viviendo a la vida, volviendo a la vida. Buah, qué maravilla, chaval. Estoy un poco ciego porque estoy abajo, pero bueno. Es como un tipo de araña, tío, que es. Has ganado 2 puntos, vale.
What the hell was that?
¿La daga? Yo creo que sí.
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire?
¿De dónde me escondo?
Down. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Ah, vale. Vale. Entonces me puedo esconder, pero me sigue matando como 200.000 veces.
What the hell was that? Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to...
¡Vamos!
Maybe I can use this dagger.
A ver si lo puedo esquivar rápido. Vale. ahora tengo que ir hacia el cuadro sin que me vea. Tranquilo, tío. Lo ha pillado otra vez, que estamos en la puta ya, Es que es la hostia de tiempo, tío. Ah, qué asco de bicho, de verdad. Qué puto asco de bicho, chaval. No le puedes esquivar ni de coña. Pero ni de coña,
Is this dagger part of
Yo creo que
Sanders'
no es
collection,
esa la daga,
or
es
was
que no
he
lo sé.
seeking to acquire?
No sé. Es que es
Damn,
igual.
maybe I can use this dagger.
Hijo de perra. Malparido, cabrón.
Damn it! That thing came out of this paint. There has to be.
No vale, puta madre.
Maybe if I destroy it.
No sé si la destruyo con qué. ¿Con qué?
That thing came out of this paint. There has to be a way. Maybe if I destroy it. I could try tearing the painting with this thing.
Voy a ver con esta, cuidado, que no. Con ninguna, tío. He aguantado la hostia encima. Ay, Dios.
What the hell was that?
Es la puta daga, tío.
Damn! Did it hear that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
No puedo. ¡Coge todas! ¡Coge todas! ¡Mierda! ¿Cuál es la daga, tío? ¿Cuál es la daga? ¿En serio? ¿Cuál es?
What the hell was that? Is this dagger part of Sanders'
Una que se
collection?
entrelaza,
Was he
pero...
seeking to acquire it?
¿Pero dónde hostias está?
What the hell was that?
Es que no sé cuál puede ser, tío. Me tiene...
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
¿Cómo me has pillado? Joder. Es un puto asco esta zona, de verdad. Es un puto asco, de verdad.
What the hell was that?
Esta no. Esta no. Esta no.
I can't even touch it.
Esta no. Esta no. Es que no sé cuál es. Dios mío. ¿Cuál es? Es que no logro saber cuál es.
What the hell was that?
Voy a correr porque a la que me pille, pues corre y ya está. Esta tampoco. 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 ¿Esta puede ser?
Damn. This dagger looks different.
¿Puede ser esta? Por favor. Bien. Bien. ¡Cabrón! ¡Muere! ¡Vuelve a tu cuadro! ¡Hijo de perra! ¡Córtale, córtale! ¡Wow! Lo que ha costado, chaval. Hostia, ¿qué me pasa en la mano? Pincha, pincha. Pincha.
What's the matter with you?
Buah. Bueno, chicos, vamos a dejarlo aquí.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Joder. Una criatura
I was
me
attacked
atacó.
by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
¿Sabía lo del monstruo?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Debo hablar
The
con
creature. This dagger was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Vale, venga, adiós. Y lo vamos a dejar aquí, chicos, porque esto... Vamos. Capítulo 7. La librería sin nombre. El vagabundo resulta ser mucho más que una simple pintura de Sarah Hawkins. Una criatura gigantesca sale del cuadro y ataca a Pierce. Tras una dura pelea, el detective consigue devolverla al interior de la pintura. Más tarde descubre que la daga que utilizó para repeler a la criatura llegó a manos de Sanders a través de Algernon Drake, el propietario de la librería sin nombre. Pierce decide hacer una visita al librero. Sangre. Ya empezamos mal. En cuanto guarde lo dejaremos, chicos. Vale. Vamos a dejar aquí esta parte, chicos. Me ha costado muchísimo. Tendré que cortarlo. Lo cortaré, porque me han matado muchas veces. Espero que os haya gustado. Dadme un like si es un dislike, si no, y nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo. ¡Adiós!